Welcome back to our Medeco pinning up a large format interchangeable session. So we have a few LFIC cores that are all classic, and we want to hand cut a key. So this is my method of doing it. May not necessarily be the best way, but it's going to be the kind of by hand guess and check. So what I have here is the key. I made my center marks like in our last video using the core, inserting into the key and making our marks in the center with a Sharpie. I also have one mark made that is 90 degree. Let's see if you can see that. So here we have one mark that's made at 90 degrees and one that's slanted just a little bit this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a guide that I've built, which is just a Z-bar tension wrench with another bent piece of windshield wiper insert zip tied to it. So this gives me my 20 degree angle where I can make 90 degree marks or one slanted this direction, and then I'll take this off and zip tie it the other way so I can do my other angle cuts. So basically just lay it on in this way, square it up with the key, and make your slanted marks against this or make your 90 degree against it. The way that I bent this is I just took a look at the bottom of one of the key pins. So in this case, I went for one of these key pins, visually lined up the center of it with the 90 degree, and then saw that my tension or the wiper insert was going through the true gate when I lined them up. So using magnifying glass and bending them with vice grips, I got the angle to line up. So I believe that the angle should be good. We're gonna do a double check later on with when we actually go to make the cuts. We're gonna make light cuts, and then we're gonna check to make sure that the keys pins rotate correctly before we keep cutting down and set our depth with going too deep, because you can always go a little deeper. You can't put back metal, so you're gonna have to have a bunch of extra keys. In this case, I only have one operating key blank and one control key blank, so I'm counting on not making any mistakes in the measure twice, cut once theory. So that's how we're gonna get these other marks. You probably can't see the very light dots that I have for each of the other 4 pins along here, but I do have those centering dots made. You could sand this all down and do that with a scratch awl or some other pointy element, but I just went for using one of these Sharpie pens. So this has a nice little fine tip that fit down into the lock pretty well. So this seemed to work out. It also, if you make a mistake, it rubs off pretty easily and you can do it again. So so far has been working out. We'll come back with the next section once I make these cuts. And then we'll see that they align properly with the sidebar, and then we'll start making cuts down. I know there's a lot of parts and seems pretty slow, but slow going I think will be the way to cut keys like this by hand. Of course, if you have Medeco key cutting machine, you're probably laughing at me and not watching this video. Thanks.